Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Pow! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Trash Tuesday. We are here for you with episode 157. Can you believe it? 157 episodes of Wrestling is Trash. Welcome, lovely, beautiful Trashians out there who are enjoying this program. I, of course, am one of your co-hosts of this show, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash, Trash Boy number 2. And as always, I am joined by Pow.
Hey, what up, everyone? Trash Boy number 1, Nick Anicelli. Happy to be back for another Trash Tuesday. When Lou does say 157 episodes, that actually does sound insane. But we love doing it. And yeah, excited to talk. We had a very eventful weekend between in-ring and not in-ring.
I feel like I really want to get in shape because I want to do that fucking Jay White pop collar shit where he looks down at his fucking 8-pack. I want to do that shit. I want to fucking pop my collar and be like, yeah, look at these fucking abs. I don't know where that came from.
You never see those dudes like Finn or Ricochet post. You know how like sometimes like celebrities or just everyone in general posts like food they're eating. You never see what they're posting. I think like when's the last time Jay White had a carb?
Yeah, he eats like a bowl of steam and like a warm glass of water with lemon in it, probably, because I don't know how you maintain that. Because I'm obviously of a larger variety type person. Although I will say this whole situation that I've been doing is working for me, because I was looking back at old videos of our speaking of being episode 157, I went back and watched a few older episodes, and I was like, damn, I can tell like I was
the face
very much potato faced. And even this shirt, like this is the shirt that I bought to go to the live show.
Yeah.
And when I wore it, it was tight, and now it's loose as fuck. Like it's not even touching, you know what I'm saying? So
putting in that work.
We're getting there slowly but surely. Maybe one day I'll be able to do
putting in that work.
Fucking get the abs going. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for you once again to talk all things wrestling related. Past, present, and future. So, where the fuck do we start with this episode? This has been an insane week. It's been an insane 2 weeks of wrestling. I don't even know where to actually start, but I guess what we should do is kind of address the, for lack of a better word, the elephant in the room, and we'll discuss this person here. Because I'd like to get all that out of the way if we could, so we can actually talk about the good things that happened this week in wrestling.
Two great shows.
So if you didn't know, if you've been living under a rock for the last few days, CM Punk is no longer with AEW. He is no longer with All Elite Wrestling. He has been terminated from his contract. He for a cause. And look, here's the thing. So whatever happened back there, you know, again, I love to say this on this show because there's 100 different ways I'd like to go with this, but this is the thing about this show. Like, yes, we pay attention to the dirt sheets because news gets put out there. Now, what I like to do personally, and I think what Nick likes to do also, is we get news from all these different places and we kind of just get the general idea of what's happening, but we don't take sides. We're not like,
no.
I'm not over here like, oh, Meltzer said it, so that's it. Or Cornette said it, so that's it. And fucking no. Something happened there at All In. And what that was, I don't know because I wasn't fucking there. I am not a wrestler. I am not a promoter. I'm a wrestling fan. and I know my place, and I know I'm not some insider. I'm not some, I don't have anybody's number who works in production and I'm getting secrets or even pretending that I'm doing that. No, we don't do
We're
that here.
just a couple trash boys.
We are just trash boys who are here. We enjoy wrestling. We love wrestling. It's been part of our lives for multiple decades. And it's just something that we're entrenched in it. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know wrestlers and I know these people and I know their lives and I got inside information. I don't. I have the same information you all have. What we like to do on here, though, is kind of talk about these situations and give our opinions about what's what. So here's the thing with CM Punk. We love CM Punk. I like CM Punk. I'm a fan. Do I think he's the greatest ever? No. But when he came back, I bought this fucking hat. I was on board. I bought the hat. I bought the shirt. Like right as he was walking to the ring, I was on shopaw.com buying the fucking CM Punk merch because I was excited. The pop was insane. It was great. He's back. He's going to do his redemption arc. Now, whether or not you feel like he actually got his redemption arc or not, whatever, that's your opinion. But I enjoyed his time in AEW. Yes, some shit happened. But again, I wasn't there. I don't know the backstage story. Apparently there's camera footage of this situation because there's a bunch of cameras back there in Wembley Stadium.
I do need that leak.
Footage.
I do need that leak though.
Somebody has it, and if that footage gets put out eventually or not, I think it should be put out. And I think I get the feeling that may happen eventually, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But anyway. Again, the only people who know what happened are the people who were there. So I can't take sides. I can't say Jungle Boy was right or CM Punk was right or whatever. Because again, we weren't there. So just going off of what supposedly happened, the story that we have, Tony did the right thing. He had to, and we talked about this last week. We said it. We were like, yo, he's got to go.
Yeah.
Punk's got to go. We said it. I love CM Punk. But if this shit's true, and now you have another problem with another talent, and you're supposedly choking somebody out and punching, getting into a fight, you got to go, bro. That's just how I feel about it. And I think Tony did the right thing. Now, his whole speech about I was fearful for my life. I've never felt scared at a show before. I don't know if he needed to do all that.
Yeah.
But he's a sensitive guy, man. Tony's a little frail, sensitive guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve and shit. You know what I mean? So,
and I won't take any of this shit or whatever he keeps saying. But whatever he says.
I don't know if he needed to do all that. Nick, if you want to chime in here, because I can just keep going and going and going. But
the whole thing is interesting because, okay, he left. We all agree he did the right thing. We're both fans of Punk. We wanted Punk to come back. Pre-injury Punk, pretty much when he won the title, was amazing. His Eddie Kingston feud, his MJF feud. I went to Double or Nothing in 22 because I wanted to go, but Punk in the main event was one of the key reasons I went. And he is a draw. He was their number one merchandise seller right before he got fired. But, if you're starting all these antics and all that, it's you got to go, bro. And then you hear these reports, and then the Regal thing, if that's true.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
When Regal first came in, calling him a Triple H stooge all of that, which is crazy because that's when he debuted was Revolution, which that's when the dog collar match was.
Yeah.
And it's because Kevin Nash also went on record saying CM Punk needs mental help, help. And maybe he does. Maybe it's just Punk does a lot of this to himself. And I think Phil Brooks puts more stock into his own hype. We love Punk. The shit that happened at All Out last year, hey man, shit does happen.
So I guess in other words, you're saying, I think CM Punk is starting to believe his own bullshit.
Yes.
As the great Vince McMahon once said.
Yes. And it's nuts because every time something with Punk comes up, you see these clips of his last WWE run of them calling him out on television. It's yo, they weren't wrong. But and it's like what happened at All Out last year. Yeah, was it shitty because there was the fight and then the way the scrum went and it didn't make Tony look good. But I'll chalk that up to shit happens. And then it's like, okay, dude, Tony gets you back. You work on something. He makes it. As much as we laugh and joke, that show was made for a soft roster split to have Punk and the Elite do their thing, which is good, though. It shows AEW's that successful. They can do that. And then they come, and then, like, he's getting people escorted out of buildings, and it's like... And then it's like, yo, you need to be there as that locker room leader, and you didn't... Okay, yeah, like we're Taker and JBL doing some wild shit back in the day, but they weren't like, I don't know, like they weren't fighting, at least.
Yeah,
and
that's where you lose me. Like that's where you lose me with CM Punk. Like there were reports back in the days of WWE where like that famous one where he supposedly was like, "Come on, guys!" Like he tried to be like he tried to galvanize the locker room, and like who was it, the Undertaker or somebody was like literally laughing in his face. Like,
I think it was Booker T.
Yeah, they just fucking laughed at him like, who the fuck? You're not the leader here, bro. So, now you're literally in that role. Like now you are the locker room leader here.
You are what you want to be.
Quote unquote the biggest name in the company. And I mean that general public wise, I don't think there's any denying the fact that in AEW, CM Punk was the biggest name in that company. We love Moxley and we love, Christian and Jungle Boy.
Jericho's the only one you could argue.
Yeah, Jericho will be up there, but I would argue CM Punk's bigger name as far as general public goes. You know what I mean? So you like this is the shit. Like I was not arguing with somebody on Twitter because I try not to do it, but I was reading through all these different threads, and people are like, "Yo, poor CM Punk." Like it was like the poor CM Punk party. Like people were like, "Oh, he's fucking." People are starting shit with him and they keep fucking with him and this and that, and it's like he's just trying to run a show and be a draw and people are fucking with him. And I'm like, bro, first of all, he's one of the oldest guys on the roster and he's no stranger to this business and how it works. So if anybody should be like, I don't understand why. Let's say what happened with Jungle Boy and CM Punk is factually accurate, what we've heard from all the reports. Jungle Boy made the crack about the glass thing because they had a situation a couple shows ago where CM Punk had a problem with him using real glass. Okay. So now at the show, Jungle Boy goes, "Hey, this is real glass, cry me a river," whatever. Let's say that they went backstage. Punk supposedly said to him, "You got a fucking problem with me. I'll kick your fucking ass." That's like the first thing. I'll kick your fucking ass. Why are you doing that? Why can't you just be like, "Yo, Jack, come here. Hey, do we have a problem? Like, do you have an issue with me? Did I do something to fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's have a seat. Let's talk. Like, what's going on? Did I say something to fucking piss you off? Did you like, what's going on here? That's what I don't get. Like, why can't he just sit down with these people and be a fucking leader and be like, "Yo, all right, you seem to have an issue with me. If I said something like, what was it that I said that you have an issue with? Let's talk about this shit. We're here. We're professionals. We're in fucking Wembley Stadium. There's like 80,000 people here. Like, let's talk about this shit real quick before I go out there. And after the match, no, it has to be, "Oh, well, you got a problem with me? I'll kick your fucking ass." It's like, bro, you're not an 18-year-old kid. Like
the one thing I'll say that I saw online that was interesting to come to CM Punk's defense, like I guess one time in this whole thing. So Raj Gary was like kind of going back and forth with someone. And he's like, back in the day, as much as Jungle Boy, yeah, he main evented Double or Nothing in that 4 Pillars match. Like Jungle Boy is an undercard. And he's like, you didn't see an undercard going out there on live TV mocking a main eventer. And it's kind of, I see that side of things too.
Yeah.
There was
definitely more respect. There was definitely more respect back in the day.
Yeah, and I think that, but I definitely agree. Like Punk definitely handled that wrong. Yes, he's a hothead. And then it comes back to all these other reports where he had the idea of maybe leaving AEW to go to WWE to do the Rumble and then maybe feud with KO. And it's like, and this is why I say the stock thing. Like, I think this dude really thinks he can just go where he wants and what he wants happens. And it's like, and we were texting about it. If WWE doesn't want him, like he's probably done.
Yeah,
because he's not going to
the
go
fuck's he
somewhere
gonna do?
else.
Was he gonna go to GCW?
Yeah, or like
Fucking
Impact. Like,
front
no
through
offense
light
to any
tubes
of
and
them,
shit.
but
If you think you got a problem with glass before, you're gonna have fucking triple light tube match.
So
I
it's
don't think so.
And then there's that reports. Apparently they might be interested in him, but dog, you said you didn't like Triple H. Who do you think you're working for now? You know?
And it's funny, like,
and then another
clips.
thing to add to it, as much as I would love Punk there, because it would get a pop out of me. It would get a pop out of the internet, everyone.
100%.
If you really truly think about it, do they even need him? Their businesses, both companies in general, but they're doing so good right now. They have plenty of other talent. All this is doing is bringing him in, is taking someone's spot that's like on a roll. Like, not saying necessarily him, but look at LA Knight, like LA Knight's on the up and coming.
Chad Gable too.
Yeah, Chad Gable, Gunther.
Judgment Day, Gunther.
Right, because a lot of people are already saying, "Oh, Punk should come in and face Rollins at Mania." Like, not.
Yeah, he should come in and beat Rollins. He should come in and beat Roman Reigns. And it's like, dude.
And Steph's been on record saying, like, yo, I don't want to be that guy. Like, he's like, I didn't want to really do that for Cody, but, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because Punk's, I don't think Seth likes him. He's been known verbally. But
no. There's a big problem there.
Yeah, like, so, like, I'm cool with Seth losing the title tomorrow. But, like, no offense, not to CM Punk.
Yeah. You didn't see that interview with Seth where somebody asked him about
when he called
CM
him a
Punk?
cancer?
Yeah, a while. That was a while. I don't know if that was like kayfabe. I don't know if he was in character, but it kind of seemed like he was like for real. Like he's like,
probably some truth behind it.
And it was funny because there's like people, I guess, behind the camera, and they're like, and he's like, "What, guys? Let's come on! Like we all don't know this." I was like, "Holy shit!"
But like
I actually forgot about that.
There's 3 people instantly I'd rather have beat Seth: Gunther, LA Knight, Gable, like all these other people. It's like. And he definitely shouldn't be the one to beat Roman. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, I wouldn't mind Punk. Like, obviously, I wouldn't mind seeing. Dude, look, I love wrestling. So, if I'm watching the fucking Royal Rumble and they count down to 0 and Cult of Personality hits, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Just because I'm going to be like, I can't fucking believe these people brought him back. Like, it's just going to be such a mind fuck to see what happens, who he interacts with, how this shit goes. So yeah, I'd like to see him back. Do I think he needs to be the one to beat Roman Reigns? No. In no way should he be the one to beat Roman Reigns. Can he get into a program with him?
Absolutely.
Sure, of course.
Like what I said would be perfect. Survivor Series, Roman's in the main event, obviously. He wins. Cult of Personality hits. Punk doesn't even talk. Just do the classic stare down. Boom. And then they build a feud to the Rumble. And at Rumble, you get Punk and Roman.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm cool with him coming if he does that. But just to the conflict with everything. Like, we love Punk. It's just, Tony did the right thing. It's just, and the thing is, so do you see like Mark Henry's quote about it?
No.
So let me try pulling it up. So Mark Henry is like, I think a fan of CM Punk, but like I think friends with him too. Like, because obviously they've done things together, like they wrestled together and everything like that. I'm trying to find his quote. If you can give me just 1 second. So this is what he's saying. So the problem is gone. The problem is solved. Now you can freely go, and there will be no more complaining. There should be no more complaining. The problem is gone. The so-called problem is. Everything should be shits and giggles and unicorn pee and rainbow blankets. That's what it should be now. I'm curious to see how it's going to be. The problem is solved. So that was on Busted Open. So I think what he's getting at, and now mind you, he works for AEW. He's a scout, isn't he, for AEW?
That's super cheeky. He's being like, okay, the problem supposedly is gone now. So everything should be great, right? So there shouldn't be any more problems after this. So
Yeah, and think
let's
about
see
it.
what
Say
happens.
there is.
That's basically how I took that.
But and the thing is, someone else said there were fights before he was there. Remember Sammy Guevara and Andrade got
Yeah.
into a beef?
Yeah.
And Sammy Guevara was on a roll there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
and I think they'll be fine. I definitely think getting him out of there overall does it. And it sucks, dude, because once again, in 2 weeks, AEW put out 2 amazing shows. We are here guilty of crapping on All Out. Not necessarily crapping on All Out, but as we said, the build. But on the pre-show, Lou and I were talking, do we love a good storyline? Absolutely. Who doesn't in this sport if you're watching weekly? But how many good storylines like Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles? We talked about that match recently. And the match was decent, but it didn't live up to the hype. Or just even like the Roman and Brock stuff. They've had some good storylines, but unless it was their last man standing match, like their matches weren't that good. So I'd rather the match deliver in the end because that can make up for the lack of, kind of another, like there's so many just good examples of that. So it's like, I guess we can kind of transition here to the 2 shows, but just in general, All Out, Payback, both had great pay-per-views this weekend. Literally 2. I said it to Lou, and someone fact-checked me, or I fact-checked myself, but besides like the big Mania weekend and stuff like that, when there's the Ring of Honor show and everything else, this might have been the best weekend of the wrestles, with the 2 major companies having 2 big shows.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, and this is just us as fans, I think, falling for it again, lack of build, lack of expectations, delivered.
Yeah. Like again,
because Revolution, I remember we were cramping. Revolution had no damn build besides MJF and Danielson. One of the best shows of the year. Backlash, one of my favorite shows of the year, had no build.
Oh, can we talk about that for a second? Did you see the tweet a couple days before all this madness happened, where Tony Khan, I forgot, I don't know where he was on some podcast or something about the best shows. I was like, come on, Tony, you capping, bro. Like, I get you're trying to be like a homer and you're of course you're backing your own product or whatever. But for you to not say that Backlash was like one of the best shows of the year, one of the top 5 shows of the year, that's cap, bro. Like, dude, that fucking show was phenomenal.
I still think that Puerto Rico crowd's been the best crowd of the year.
And it's not even close. Like, it's not even close. Like, that crowd was fucking insane.
It's not even just the Bad Bunny aspect either, because I still think Bad Bunny.
Those matches were hard.
Because
obviously obviously Selena Vega didn't really get a great match or whatever, but she had the chancleta thing,
which was funny. Came out the home crowd, and Bad Bunny's match was great.
Yeah,
I still think he's had best entrance of the year. That entrance was dope.
Let me pull that card up real quick.
And you know what the best part about that card was? Roman wasn't even on it. There was because Seth, the world title wasn't a thing yet. Because I remember it was Seth and Omos. And I remember that wasn't a bad match.
So Cody versus Brock.
Yep, that main evented. Because that was the only thing we bitched about, is that Bad Bunny and Damian Priest should have main evented.
Yeah. Bianca and Io Sky, which was that was a fucking great match. I remember it. Seth and Omos.
Which wasn't
Austin
bad.
Theory defeat Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed.
Which was good.
Ripley defeats Zelina Vega. Mm-hmm. And then Bad Bunny, Damian Priest in the street fight. And then the Bloodline defeats Sammy, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. Right? Is that what I'm
and I think that was like the one downer match we said. That was because I remember the triple threat was even good because Bronson Reed had some good spots.
I mean, that was a hot show, man. For him to say that was not, for him not to throw at least one WWE, like even, come on, WrestleMania Night 1 was fucking awesome. So,
but not even just WWE. My man gave no love to Wrestle Kingdom.
Or anything. Everything was AEW. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's your company. But that's one thing I really wish Tony would just like, this whole chip on his shoulder that he has with like, always trying to like point out WWE shit and letting his talent talk about WWE and, just like, I wish he would just like, because, bro, I'm going to keep it a buck. If I was in Tony Khan's shoes, let's say my dad was some billionaire. I had all this money. I started a wrestling promotion and I'm on TV and I'm doing all this shit. bro, I would acknowledge that WWE is, doing wonderful things and leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they ask, because at these scrums, they always ask something, and it's like he goes off. Like he went off on Twitter on, what was it, Nick Khan, calling him a liar and all this other shit, and I
And
have
like
proof.
Ariel Helwani.
And it's like, dog, why do you do that, bro? Just fucking be like, no, I think what they're doing is great, but I think what we're doing here is something a little different. We offer this. This is what we're doing. This is how I feel about this. Don't stop comparing yourself to the fucking 50-year-old company. Like, you don't need to do that shit, bro.
Yeah, and because here's the thing. As much as people will say one show's better than the other, that's always going to be a style thing, right? There are certain people that like, which is fine, right? That's just what you're into. Like I said, WWE been around forever, man. They're collaborating with the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? The NBA. Now UFC is going to be obviously a bigger thing.
That's
right?
another thing I wanted to mention too when you were talking about CM Punk, bro. Endeavor's about to take over the company. So there's going to be a lot of changes. Then you're going to see them pretty quick. And I think you're already kind of seeing them with the fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Why is Rey Mysterio always the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match, bro?
And he's the champ of it. He's undefeated.
Yeah, he's like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch champion or some shit. You're going to start seeing a lot of shit like that. I guarantee you pretty soon you're going to start seeing logos and shit on people's outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's going to be big changes. So they might want CM Punk on their show. It's not going to be up to Triple H.
I think so. One thing on that, I think we might start seeing The Rock more too.
Oh yeah,
because he isn't. I think his Project Rock Under Armour shit sponsors the UFC. We're gonna see more Logan Paul because Prime's the official drink of UFC.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a thing. But yeah, it's like, hey, dude, like Tony, you're doing fucking phenomenal. You just had the biggest wrestling event in wrestling history. And the crazy thing is, if you weren't constantly trying to take shots at them or compare yourself, like, dude, you could probably like be civil with these people.
And it's not, and it's even, I think it's even deeper than that. Like you would actually help the fan base, because then you wouldn't be giving fire to all these fucking trolls on Twitter who are always trying to like cause problems with the tribalism and shit. Like if you just stopped doing that, I think it would help a lot as far as like all those issues. I know people don't give a shit about Twitter for the most part, but for us, we're on it every day. Yeah. So we see it.
Because granted, there's going to be healthy competition, right? Like, I don't care what people... Nick Khan definitely acknowledges AEW as competition, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. Well, I think he says everyone's competition. But, dude, at the end of the day, I hate it because we always somehow reference it, but when SmackDown's doing $2.5 million and Dynamite's averaging about 900,000 a million, like... Right. Like, that's going to say it right there. But if Tony, like... If they kind of had that thing, just chill, and didn't... Constant, like I bet you if they were civil, kind of like how in TNA, because when TNA was big back in the day, RVD showed up in the Royal Rumble when he was the TNA talent. Like imagine if they were kind of on the chill side, like Tony, like you said, acknowledge like, hey man, they're WWE. This is just a secondary product to help get everyone's eyes off. We do have big names, we do have profits, we do have money, we do everything that we have, which is literally what WWE has, just not on as big as the stage. You could have like a Jay White maybe make a Royal Rumble appearance, and it's like, oh shit, Jay White's in fucking AEW, fucking Jay White's here, and it's like, oh, who's this Jay White dude? Let me go watch the Dynamite.
Well, I mean, I would never say, hey, we're the secondary product. I would never say that. Yeah. But I would definitely be like, nah, they do what they do. We offer an alternative. Our matches are, I think, a little more intense. A lot of blood. Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have to get into detail, but it's just kind of like, dude, we offer this. We offer an alternative. We got stars like this. We got stars like Moxley. We got stars like Swerve, and they do all these different things. And like go into that. Like direct yourself away from talking about like WWE and trying to talk shit about them, because this shit. So honestly, it's annoying.
And here's the thing: AEW has a great opportunity to advertise, and obviously we don't know this, but they're on TNT and TBS, which are both MLB and NBA heavy. Like I'm surprised you don't see plugs for Dynamite during it.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, again, I haven't watched baseball in fucking years. So I don't know if they are advertising on there, but
I don't see it during NBA games at least.
I'm gonna start paying attention to like the NFL and all that shit. I know they're not. They're probably. I don't even remember seeing WWE ads on like the NFL
they
or
do.
anything like
The
that.
Fox ones does.
Oh, okay,
Fox
right,
does,
right. Yeah, on Fox for sure.
And then NBC does too, because they'll pipe up the premium live events. Please.
Damn. Oh yeah, Peacock shit. NBC.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't know. So the main question I'm going to ask you to kind of dive off this between both pay-per-views this weekend, and we'll just kind of glide into it. What was your favorite match of the weekend between the two?
Oh, the fucking let me think. No, the Danielson and Ricky Starks match. That fucking match.
That's fair.
Listen, let me tell you something, bro.
That's a smart answer.
And that match got added at the last minute. I don't know how, if that was planned for like a little bit. I don't know how that
I think
worked.
that was supposed to be Punk.
Yeah, probably. And I'll tell you this. I do not think in any stretch of the imagination that match would have been as good with Punk than with Danielson. In no way.
You texted it to me.
Not a
Danielson, I will arguably say Danielson, professional wrestling wise, in-ring wrestling wise, Danielson's on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh no, he's the greatest.
One of the greatest.
Right now, he is the greatest in-ring performer that we have in any promotion. I'm sorry. I love Kenny Omega.
AJ Styles.
Seth Rollins is fucking fantastic. AJ Styles is one of the
I
goats.
agree with you. Danielson's the greatest wrestler in the world.
Who else? You know, Isaiah Swerve Scott is, I just called him by his NXT name. Swerve. Isaiah Swerve Scott is what he was called in NXT. Swerve and guys like technical people like Josh Woods, and I mean, now I'm getting into like the lower card, but
Chad Gable.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I mentioned Cody.
Yeah, Gunther.
Gunther. They're all like Jericho. At the top of that mountain. Yeah, I would say Jericho, but it's obvious that he's kind of slowed a little bit. Let's throw Ospreay in there.
Yeah, yes, can't forget.
But man, Bryan Danielson he's just when it comes to performing the actual art and his psychology in the ring of how the match goes, just like from beginning to end, how the offense swings in different directions during the match, and just how the way the matches wrap up and finish. He's the fucking greatest, bro. He just is so good. And you can't take your eyes off of the fucking matches that he has. They're just phenomenal every time. Like I think he gave Brock his best match. The best match Brock Lesnar ever had was with Danielson.
Love that
match. That's like one of my favorite matches ever, man. Heel Danielson versus Brock Lesnar for that dude. That shit was great.
Dude, damn near every. I can't think of a bad match he's had. Like his Kofi match at Mania was good. This was good. His one at Forbidden Door was good. Like his first ones when he first came into AEW with Kenny were fucking great. And it's great because that's someone you can have as that backstage present because everyone respects Danielson. He's a good dude. Like literally, they ask him every time in the media scrum, "Hey, what books are you reading right now?" Like that's a dude you want in your locker room.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why when these things happen.
If I was Tony, because Danielson, he had some injury time, and usually you do 3 years, so technically his contract's up the end of next year. If I was Tony, I would throw everything I fucking have at him. Even if it's a part-time schedule, but hey, I need you as a producer or X, Y, and Z. He is someone that needs to get the bag thrown at him.
Yeah, it's take all of the money. Just take it all. You can work part-time, pick your matches, and then just be backstage, helping me backstage, getting ready to take this shit over whenever you're ready to take it over.
Yeah, just like Christian, how he re-signed, they announced that. That's massive. I don't care. He's not wrestling. That's a massive re-sign for them.
Yeah.
Because of just his knowledge. Yeah, I thought that match was really, really good.
Besides that, if I had to pick another one, the main event of that card. And I'm trying not to be like an AEW, whatever, but dude,
No, it was a great show. Moxley didn't bleed.
Yeah, it's amazingly.
But no,
Amazingly.
hey, let's give a quick round of applause to OC, man. That was a fucking hell of a title run.
I don't want to hear anyone say anything else. This should have been deaded a long time ago. But I don't want to hear anybody talk about Orange Cassidy. He's not good. He sucks. He's a fucking flash in the pan. He's a gimmick. I don't want to hear that shit. Bro, that dude is great. Okay? He's fucking great. And he's proven it every single week, going out there and defending the title every week against Banditos and everybody, dude. Everybody. So I don't want to hear it.
Thing. He lost the title, but he lost it to one of the biggest main eventers in the company. So that means that title is on the main event stage.
And props to Jon Moxley on the sell job at the end of that match.
Mm-hmm.
Jon Moxley looked like he looked like he just got into a fight with like 6 people. Like he had to get carried out. I don't think I've ever seen him get carried out of the ring.
No,
like needing help to be carried out of the ring.
Like I thought something was wrong.
Yeah, I've never seen him that I can remember needing help to leave the ring. And he even handed Wheeler the belt, like, yo, hold this shit. I can't walk. And he put his arm around Claudio, and like I'd never seen that shit. And it's just like the respect to do that for, this kid is just off the charts, bro.
And then got to give love to the women, Becky and Trish.
Dude, match of the year contender. That's in my matches of the year.
Think about that. Trish Stratus is in a match of the year contender at her age, right? In 2023.
That's so crazy.
Dope. She paid homage to Victoria.
Yeah. Very cool.
And Victoria sent out a video on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. She was like all emotional, so that was dope. She's not in the Hall of Fame. That's kind of shocking.
That's weird.
Maybe this
I would
year?
think that's a shoo-in. Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, she should be. She should be. She's a shoo-in. She's one of the she revolutionized women's wrestling. Yeah. She was one of the ones that when she came out, it was like post China, where it was like, okay, like this woman's actually a badass. Like she's not just eye candy. You know what I mean? That was like the starting of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match and
those girls went in.
What was the other match that I had in WWE that I thought was outstanding? Oh, the fucking dude, that street fight. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Freaking awesome.
They did that fucking Rhea Ripley tackling KO through the thing.
And it's like I love when they do those things right. Because literally it took every single member of the Judgment Day and JD Don't Google Me to beat the champions. Like it took everything to beat them. That puts them over, and then on top of that, you do the title change, which helps the Judgment Day.
And what about Finn Balor? Grand Slam Balor now.
Yeah, man, good for him. That's great.
He only had the title one day, but he's still a Grand Slam champion.
Hey, it still counts. If he wouldn't have got hurt, we would have got a Finn Balor run. So
yeah. I also I really liked Miro and Hobbs too.
Oh yeah, that was a great match. That's how you do that match.
What was the meat chant again?
Bro, they were chanting meat forever.
Yeah, meat forever.
What was the other one?
The Young Bucks and FTR was good.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
That was really good.
I will say that I unfortunately fell asleep like on and off during this show, so I didn't really see too much of Kenny and Takeshita. So I have to rewatch that. I gotta rewatch that because I heard it was very good, and I'm trying to stay away from like clips because I keep seeing clips pop up, and I'm like, nope. I don't want to see clips. I want to see the whole match.
Kenny
so I definitely gotta rewatch that.
Fucking good.
Yeah,
Kenny's just so fucking awesome. Good. Did you like Rollins and Nakamura?
Yeah. I mean, the thing with that match though, it was like I kind of just felt like it was a.
I think it's just because I knew he wasn't gonna win.
I mean, I thought that we were gonna get some type of shenanigans at the end, and then it even ended weird. Like it ended weird. Like he wins, he's like celebrating, and they cut to like a production like video package. They didn't
Yeah,
even, and then he attacks him afterwards, but they don't even show it. Like, why wouldn't you show that?
But then what
Instead
they did weird last night, I read, was Seth offered Nakamura another title shot, and Nakamura said no. So I don't know
Okay.
where they're going with it. I don't know. I that's just what I read. I didn't like see it, but
Yeah.
I was like, But the delivery of the presentation of Nakamura was dope. With that little video clip, which
Yeah, and
was
I like
weird
that he's doing. I like that he's doing his promos in Japanese because you can tell he's much more comfortable.
Yeah,
Just going
especially
off
as
like
a heel, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What other matches were there on the shows that in general were just good? I'm trying to remember.
So, I thought the tag team title match was, it was good. I don't think it was anything, out of this world. The Samoa Joe match with Shane Taylor.
Oh, and
Like
shoving
I
MJF.
enjoyed the match, but it was the beginning of the match that was like so good. Like that was so good. Like when I heard Joe's music as they were walking up the ramp, I was like, "Oh shit!" Because it's like, bro, Samoa Joe is awesome. Samoa Joe is just the fucking greatest. Like he really is. Like
he
he's so
seems like
good.
a good dude too. Like just a
He's
good
just
dude.
the coolest guy. Like still kicking ass in the ring, and like he hasn't lost a step. He's still doing his fucking thing. His promos work is like unmatched. So now,
I
if
hope
we're gonna
that's
get
next.
a program, bro, if we're getting a program of NJF and Samoa Joe, listen, I'm all for that promo battle. And another thing too, the reason why I wanted to point out that match is because so in my mind, I'm thinking that eventually Adam Cole is gonna want to turn on MJF. Like that's how I feel this is gonna end. And I'm seeing little things in all their like things that happen to them. So if you notice when he runs in there after Joe, Adam Cole stays outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Max, no, as he's fighting Joe. And then Joe's choking him out. And Adam Cole's like not going in the ring. He's calling for like security. Like, why wouldn't you go in there and help your best friend to separate? Yeah, maybe you might get hit by Joe or something, but at least get in there.
What I was thinking, and I like when AEW does this, is they don't forget about the past. And remember when Joe came back to NXT and he was like the enforcer and he was fucking beating the shit out of everyone to include Adam Cole? Because remember, what was the rule with Joe? He had to be like triggered. Like if you touched him, it was game over.
Yeah, he can't get involved, but if somebody hits him, then he can retaliate or whatever.
I'm hoping that's what they channel. That Adam Cole remembers, because they do that. They don't rewrite. They don't write off WWE or Impact history and stuff like that. So that's what I thought initially. Is that I think that's where they're gonna go.
But I just think eventually we're gonna get like it's gonna be like a Kaiser Soze kind of thing where you'll think back and you'll be like, yeah, remember what that shit with Joe? Like he didn't help him. Remember in the tag match, he stayed outside while this guy was there. Like I think that's how we're gonna end up seeing things happen.
And then I don't know when this title reign's going to end, but I would not be mad if Joe's the one to end it.
Yeah, I can't say, dude, at this point, the only person right now that I think should take the title off of him is Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Because that they need to, for lack of a better phrase, finish that story. Like it needs to finish. You can't, because then you put the title on Joe, and then now what happens with them? Like, you know what I mean?
I liked it better than you. I liked their shirts that they were wearing the other night.
Yeah, they were pretty dope. I'm tempted to buy one of those better than you baby shirts, but I gotta slow down with the wrestling shirts. I have way too many. It's way too many.
Yeah, and then because the thing is, you have to buy them online now because at the shows they're expensive. Because I haven't seen. I know Full Gear's coming to LA, and I'm like going to go to that. Like I don't want to miss that. I just don't know when tickets are going on sale. I haven't seen yet.
Well, for me, I gotta buy the shirts online because they don't carry my sizes at these shows. They're always
at the shows they're more expensive than that's what I was getting
at. And they cost more, which makes no sense. Like, why would they cost more at the show? They should be $19.99.
Yeah, Seth, I'm paying $19.99 shipping, and it's still cheaper than the $60. Because I remember when I went to Double or Nothing, I bought the CM Punk shirt, the best in the world, and his was like $45 or something, or $40, and I was like, all right, maybe because it's CM Punk, I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then like I went back in January when they came to LA, and they had the Elite shirt, and it said the Elite, but it was in like purple and gold lettering because of like LA. And that shit was still like $40. Yeah, which I should have got that, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't find myself to buy Laker colors as a Celtics fan. I do have a Magic Johnson jersey, but I make an exception because he's one of the best. But
nice.
Yeah. So the old Kia Forum, nice area though. That's a nice arena. It's an old school arena. I like it. And what I like about it is, so obviously, if I was like a millionaire. Well, not a millionaire, but like, I don't know how you are with things. I guess it's diving into it, but I'm just thinking, like, I could easily spend the money if I really wanted to on like super, super close seats. But to me, it's not worth spending the money, especially if you're in like an arena, like in a basketball arena. I don't know, man. I can sit in like the first high ride, not like the up, but like the first and be totally fine. Like that doesn't bother me.
I was at the Impact show, and I was literally like, the closest I've ever been at a wrestling show was one row from the rail, and that was at an NXT house show.
Yeah, I've done it at a WWE.
So I went to an NXT house show. That's where I saw Matt Riddle versus Velveteen Dream at the main event, and Shayna Baszler and the
oh, so you saw during good NXT.
Oh yeah, her horsewomen were there. Kairi Sane was there, Io Sky, and so it was a great show. I saw the 2.0, but they were the Everrise, and everybody was calling them the middle-aged bucks because they looked like they were kind of dressed like the young bucks, but they were like older. So we were calling them the middle-aged bucks. But anyway, that was the closest I've ever sat. And then for Impact, I was like 4 rows back from the rail, but I was on the side rail by the entrance. So, dude, I mean, if I was like a multi-millionaire and I already took care of the family, I did all the shit, now I'm just living the shit that I want, I would 100% try to get like front row green shirt guy. I want to at least just gonna,
dude, how is he still?
I don't know.
You know, he's been doing this for years.
You know what's annoying about him? And there's like 4 guys. There's green shirt guy. There's referee fucking shirt guy, super annoying referee shirt guy who's at like every fucking AEW show in the front row, like mugging for the camera every time he tries to fucking get himself on camera. There's that guy. There's the Brock Lesnar guy who's like always at every fucking show.
Both companies too. He's at both company shows.
Yeah, they go to both. And I'm like, bro, like how? Like I've tweeted at a couple of those dudes before, and they're like, they don't reply to anybody ever. Like they never reply. They never tell you what they do. They never say anything. It's like, it's good for them, you know?
Yeah, and they got to be doing some quick because they're traveling too on top of it.
It's like air travel, hotel, food, tickets, you know, like how the fuck do you do this shit?
Yeah,
how are you doing this?
I was on YouTube just fucking around yesterday, and I watched AJ Styles debut, and green shirt guy was front row at the Royal Rumble 2016.
I mean, it's like over 15 or so years that he's like at every fucking show. Like every show.
Have you ever seen
Raws, SmackDowns, pay-per-views? Like it's I don't understand.
Have you ever seen his Twitter?
Nah.
He fuck, where's the guy? Is this him?
I think I went to his Twitter page one time where he writes in his bio, like, yeah, I'm the green shirt guy or something like that.
Yeah, let me.
But I don't.
He has a page, and I'm trying to find it. But anyway, he posts every week from I can't find, but yeah, he posts right when he sits down, like his front row view every week or every month.
There's another guy too who I met this guy at the Impact show. His name is Joe Live, and like he's at every fucking Impact show all over the state. And I don't know what the fuck he does, because I asked him, And his reply to me was, "Uh-oh." I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I asked him, like, dude, what? Because I met him at the show. And I was like, oh shit, I've seen you before. He's like, yeah, I'm always here. He's like a little Asian dude. He always has like an Impact hat and an Impact shirt. And he's always fucking front row. So when you watch Impact, like, he's always there. And then when you go to his Twitter, like every fucking Impact show, he's taking pictures with like Deonna Purrazzo, like by the ring, like over the rail next to the ring. Like he's
These
there.
dudes have to be getting somehow compensated.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, what do you do? I asked him, like, I tweeted him, I'm like, bro, what do you do? He replies, uh-oh. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm telling you, like a green shirt, dude, I would not be surprised if WWE either hooks him up with the ticket or hooks him up with like something. There's no way they don't recognize this dude spending all this money and not do something.
They have to give him like comp tickets for some events, but I would imagine that most of that's him.
And dude, so that has to be so cool. So
I'm like, is this guy, is he like Vince McMahon's illegitimate son or something?
Yeah, like the only back-to-back I've ever done. And to me, it was cool because you witnessed storytelling live. So Rob and I went to Mania 35, right? When Kofi won and all that. And then the next month, the next pay-per-view was Money in the Bank. And me and my boy went because it was where I lived. Like it was back home. And tickets weren't that expensive. And if you know Mania tickets, you buy them like 7 months in advance. So it's not like I was just balling in advance. And I went and it was cool because I was like, yo, I was just at the last pay-per-view. And now I'm at this one, seeing everything. Like, it was actually really fucking dope. Which I was actually a sick pay-per-view because that's when Kofi feuded with Kevin Owens. Becky 2 belts was a thing.
Oh, nice.
Bayley cashed in that night on Charlotte. Who else? AJ Styles and Seth Rollins had that one-on-one match, which was dope. The only shitty thing was, it's a funny story. I don't know. I guess I'm going to tell it, but that was the Money in the Bank where Brock Lesnar just came out at the end and won, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
And me and my boy were like, we don't care who wins the match as long as it's not Corbin. That's when Corbin was like doing the Constable Corbin bullshit.
Yeah.
And Brock's music hits, natural reaction. You pop because it's fucking Brock Lesnar and you weren't expecting him. And then he wins. And then we were like, "Far!" Like, hell yeah. Like we were amped that he even won. And then we got in the car and we're like, no, it's happening again. The reign of Lesnar. Because that's when Lesnar was on like that 3-year period of just always champion but never there.
Never fucking there. What a bad time for WWE, man. The only good thing that came out of that fucking Money in the Bank win was Boombox Brock.
Yeah.
That was the good thing that came out of that.
Kofi and Seth in the ring.
Yeah. Fucking Boombox Brock. That was the best thing that came out of that.
Yo,
yeah, man. I looked up. I wanted to go to Mania this year in Philadelphia, bro. And I looked up those tickets because my brother lives like right there outside of Philly. So I was gonna go to his house, hang out with his family and shit. Then we were gonna go to Mania, but bro.
Well, have you heard about Rumble or no?
Nah.
So the heavy rumored place for it to be is in Orlando.
Oh shit. I think I could do that.
I don't know how far of a drive that is from you.
I mean, Orlando from here is like 4 hours, but I just did a 4-hour drive. Actually, I think it's less. I think it's like 3.5. Well, which is basically essentially 4 hours, but I just did a 4.5-hour drive to Ocala a couple weeks ago.
They said bad. From what I was reading it, so of course biased, I wanted to come to the West Coast. But
yeah,
I think they might have it at that Camping World Stadium, wherever Mania 33 was when the Hardys returned, that place.
Let me look that shit up because, dude, I wouldn't if I could find reasonable tickets in hotel. Because I don't really have any people in Orlando, so I wouldn't be able to.
The thing I'll tell you to do is this, and this works. I don't care what people say. I've done it for multiple wrestling events and sporting events. Book a hotel now.
Oh yeah.
Because you can always cancel the hotel.
Yeah, a lot of them don't even charge you. Yeah, until you get there.
Yeah. Dude, if you could, I've been to a Mania, so I'm.
So that would be 2024 this year.
Yeah, January. Rumble 24. Already. Yeah, January 24. So yeah, it's in like 4 months, 5 months.
I don't know if they've officially announced.
No, so that they have.
They're running Tropicana Field in St. Pete and Camping World Stadium.
That one too. How far is that?
And Camping World Stadium in Orlando. It's one of those two are the front runners.
How
I mean, either way. I mean, St. Pete would be a little closer, and it will probably be cheaper, honestly, for hotel wise and shit. Okay, that's something to look
So
out for.
I think we've talked about this before. So Rumble's on my bucket list, but everyone I've ever met has done Mania. Says obviously Mania's Mania, but
Yeah.
they said going to a Rumble's fucking dope.
I imagine. I
But
love watching
especially,
it though.
I'm not trying to be that guy. But what if you miss? What if you decide not to go and then Phil Brooks shows up on TV?
That's
You know
fucking
you'd
crazy.
kick yourself in the ass.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
So,
That would be fucking nuts. And it's cool because it would be Saturday, so I could just come back Sunday, and I'd be good for the
you
rest
could
of the
fuck
week.
around
Yeah.
and leave. You could just fuck around and leave Saturday morning. Go to the show.
Oh no, I'd probably go Friday. Yeah, I'd probably go
True,
Friday, stay up there,
I
get the
wouldn't want
room.
to be in a car for 5 hours and then sitting all
Yeah.
day at a show
Then I
either.
have to go drive up there. No, I'd rather get in the hotel, take a shower, put on my fucking deodorant, and go to a show. You fucking stinking motherfuckers. To see that, I take a shower, wash, put on some baby powder, deodorant, then go. That's how you do these things.
You just got to find out where they're staying, and stalk them and have them
Dirty
sign a bunch of
motherfucker.
things so you can sell
And
it
the next
online.
time I go to one of those big shows, I'm gonna have a little bag, and I'm gonna go to Walmart and I'm gonna buy those little dollar deodorants and dollar Axe sprays, and I'm gonna hand them
Deodorant,
shit
man.
out. I'm gonna hand them shit out.
Hey, that's how we can get Wrestling is Trash on the map. Hey, who's that
I gotta-
deodorant guy
yeah.
from the wrestling show?
I gotta get little Wrestling is Trash labels and just fucking wrap all the
Put them on it.
yeah. You go Wrestling
already
is Trash
said-
deodorant.
Yeah, if I go to Full Gear, I gotta rock the shirt. Oh. But no, we honestly did. We had a really good weekend of wrestling.
Another one.
But now here's the thing: we're kind of in like a limbo for a little bit until November, because you got Full Gear,
which
in
is
November.
good because
Yeah,
asking people to pay for back-to-back pay-per-views as a company is kind of fucking. It's a bit much, and this motherfucker wants to do that shit again next year. So,
because
and
realistically,
apparently, according to him, he got a lot of buys. He got the buys that he wanted. So, it worked out for him. But, dude, we're in a recession, bro.
I know, right? Because now because Fastlane's next month, which that's going to be a whatever pay-per-view. Like, I actually think that's just going to be one. But then November, you got Survivor Series and Full Gear. So
in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we got the Saudi show the beginning of November.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't mind those anymore. Those have grown on me only because it's like afternoon wrestling.
Yeah, the last one was good. The last one was real good. So, again, I think I said when we covered that, I was like, I don't want to hear that Saudi blood money shit anymore, dude.
Yeah.
No more.
Talking to one of my boys,
that shit's dead.
Between every company, major company, there has not been a bad pay-per-view this year. Like, ultimately bad pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, everything delivered. I think the only thing that pissed me... Yeah, like, I don't know.
A lot of stuff, even stuff that we've been like, I don't know about this card. Like, the payback card was like, looking at that card was like, okay,
Whatever.
This looks like an episode of Monday Night Raw. And that's fine. Whatever. I'll watch it. And really good show. Like, I really enjoyed it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next morning. Sat right here at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was ready to go on Peacock. I was like, oh, perfect. Boom. Turn that shit on and watched it. I was like, hey, man, I fucking enjoyed that. That was a good show.
What do you think's next for the megastar? LA Knight.
Oh man, I didn't catch Raw last night, so I don't know if he did anything there.
No, he was they kept him off.
Yeah, but I was surprised to see that the Miz is starting something up with John Cena though. That was interesting.
That'd be kind of cool if they did a Cena. I know it's been done before, but I wouldn't mind a Cena Miz thing.
Yeah. I mean, as far as LA Knight,
because
I
here's
really
the
like
thing, if he's sorry to cut you off, if he's sticking to SmackDown, he can't go after the US title because he's a babyface.
They gotta get that off Rey Mysterio. They gotta get that off of Rey Mysterio and put it on a heel and then let LA Knight take it. But then that means you take it off of Rey, you put it on someone else, and then you take it off of that person now to give it to LA Knight. So, like, I don't know why they didn't just have Austin Theory and LA Knight like beef, but I'm sure they have a plan of some sort to kind of get that figured out. But like, that was like the perfect Everybody hates Austin
scenario.
Theory. Everybody loves LA Knight. It's the perfect fucking match. Put the fucking belt on LA Knight, let him go on a run, and get cheered. I don't understand why they didn't do it.
That's literally heel face 101.
I mean, it's like it writes itself. You don't even have to build anything around it. It's just have him come out, start talking his gibberish, hit LA Knight's music, bam, there's your feud. I don't know why they didn't do that. You know what I want to
see? I thought about this. Tell me how you feel about this. A fatal four-way between the Blackpool Combat Club for the international title.
Oh, shit. Wow.
How dope would that be?
Wow, that'd be brutal.
Exactly.
What I like about the whole Moxley thing now is that because Moxley always pops up on these random ass shows, so he's literally gonna be able to take that title and make it like international. Like he'll take it to all these other promotions and defend it. And actually, they'll actually do that. What they should do if they're smart is have their camera people go and record that shit and then show it on. Not show the whole match on AEW, but at least acknowledge the fact that he's going and doing that shit.
For the second time since the Shield broke up, all Shield members are champions.
Yes, sir.
So I always think it's dope because I remember last time I think Mox was the champion and Seth was like U.S. champion. But I think it's dope when they acknowledge that.
So was Roman on his current run then?
Yes.
So he's still champion from all that time ago when Moxley was champion, and he just hasn't lost his title, and he's still holding on to it.
No, they just said it. It was last week was 3 years he's won the Universal title.
God. That's fucking. Hey man, that's ridiculous, bro. Hey, at this point, fuck it. Just let him hold the belt until he's fucking retired. I mean, why even bother beating him?
So here's my thing. Because a lot of people do not like Hulk Hogan, right? Like they don't like Hulk Hogan, obviously for everything he's done, right? His antics, he lies, his racist comments, everything like that. And it's funny because I went down a Twitter thread one day. It was kind of recently. And because sometimes they're pretty funny, some of the things people say.
Right.
And it's like, dude was like, well, I'm in a dilemma. I don't want Cody to lose again because then it's like, fuck this shit. But man, would I love Roman to beat Hogan's record.
Right.
Because I think if Roman has to hold it for literally another year, next September. He has to hold it till next September.
Wow, bro. Can we do that? Can we?
So that's the question I have for you. Can we
do that? Like,
do you have Cody win or do you want Roman to beat Hogan?
I don't give a fuck about these. Like, honestly, I don't give a fuck about these records. This Hogan's record, and I didn't even give a shit about the Honky Tonk Man's record. I think it's cool that they did it.
To Gunther.
With congratulations to Gunther. He's officially the longest reigning IC champion of all time. And that's fantastic. That's great for him. No one, I don't think, is going to beat that for quite a while. It's probably going to be another 20 years before somebody is able to do that. So congrats to him. But, like, I don't give a fuck about Hogan's. Like, I don't care. That's the thing. Like, it was a different time back then. There weren't shows every week on TV. Yeah. There weren't monthly pay-per-views. Like, those guys wrestled, you saw them like every fucking 3 months or something. You know what I mean? So it was different. So, like, I don't really give a shit about the Hogan thing. Like, honestly, I really don't.
Dude, in the past year, we've had 3 records get broken. We've had the tag team title one get broken, which just recently got broken in like 2016.
Right.
Then the IC one now, and then Roman just obviously with his shit. Seth's just hit 100 days. I saw that. MJF's coming up on a long time too, huh? MJF got to be around because he won at what? Full Gear. At last year, he won Full Gear.
Yeah, he's coming up on a year.
Coming up on a year. That's fucking awesome. I've enjoyed his title reign.
Oh shit, Cody Rhodes scheduled for Friday SmackDown.
There's the trade.
So they're trading Cody for anyone who's not aware of this. So Jey Uso got traded to Raw. He's the newest member of Monday Night Raw because I guess he quit. That's the storyline is he quit.
Oh yeah.
Cody somehow finagled his former EVP status to finagle getting Jey Uso to be on Raw. But then it turns out that the deal is not complete because there's another part of the transaction that's going to happen to SmackDown. And we're all speculating that it's going to be Cody moving to SmackDown, which, first of all, does it even fucking matter who's on what show?
It doesn't.
Because they have not been paying attention to the, literally after the second week they did the draft, they fucked the whole draft up. They just had people going everywhere. So why even bother with this shit? But, you know, I get for storyline reasons why they're going to do it, just to bring attention to it so people tune in and whatnot. It's part of the, you know, part of what WWE does. But I just, if they're going to start that program, then I would assume that the reign of Roman is coming to an end very soon, probably at Mania. But again, we thought that was happening last year.
See, here's my thing. Because you predicted Roman to win, I remember. But what's the point of doing this again if he doesn't win? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, really, if he does it, if they do it again and Cody loses, he might as well retire. Because what's left? If you go, because the thing is, if he loses and he doesn't beat Roman Reigns, if he's not the one to do it, then what do? You can't challenge him again. You just can't. No one's going to care. You're like, oh, we're going to complete the story, guys. And you're like, nah, bro, no, we don't care.
The third
time. Then what? You go after Seth's title? That all of that's going to do is make that title look like even more secondary. Because right now, I've come around on that title. Like, I'm not looking at it as a sub title anymore. Like, Rollins has defended it quite a few times. People want that shit. It looks nice. So I'm giving it its respect, and it's new. That you have to, you know, it's gonna take a while for that title to kind of like get its own shine, which I think it's happening now. So even with that though, like you can't have Cody lose and then like a month later come and try to take Seth's title and all. It's like, nah, bro, you had your chance,
and you gotta drop this Rock bullshit.
Yeah,
because the thing is, The Rock wouldn't beat him.
Yeah.
If The Rock goes back, it's to give Roman the not needed rub.
The super rub. Not that he needs a rub from fucking Dwayne Johnson, but The Rock cannot be the one to beat Roman Reigns and take the title. Like he can't. Maybe what they can do is have Cody beat Roman for the titles. And then The Rock comes out because he's like, well, you're not head of the table anymore. You've lost the championships. You're not that guy now. So I have to come and finish you. And then they can have a match. Because they don't need the title to have that match. The Rock versus fucking Roman Reigns to see who's gonna be the head of the table. That's it right there. You that's literally it. You don't need a belt for that. So then you can have that match and then Roman can win. And then, you know. Or even you can even have The Rock. I don't know. I don't really think The Rock's
here's the thing. You said it perfectly. But the thing is, WWE is dead set on if they do it, it's at Mania. Like, dog, SummerSlam's a stadium show. Like, Mania is gonna make zillions of dollars, whether The Rock's on it, The Undertaker's on it, Triple H is on it. So why not save that for SummerSlam and make that we can really sell out probably. If you show that clip right then and there, say, even if that ends Mania, like say Cody celebrates, the pyro goes off, Roman's in the ring, Cody goes in the back, then it ends with The Rock's music and just a face-to-face. I'm cool with that, right? Because if you're advertising months in advance, The Rock and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, you can sell 70, 80,000 tickets. Probably 70. I'll probably 60, 70, probably. But it's like, so why not do that? And you have, like you said it perfectly. The Rock's like what bigger disappointment to come out after all this and you disappointed The Rock?
Yeah. The elder sent me whatever. You know, there's a million ways they could do that shit. They sent me here to take it from you because you're not.
Yeah, or just even himself. You know? I've sat back. I've watched what you've done. You've done, and you failed. You failed. And then boom. There's the match.
Now I kind of want to see
SummerSlam main
it.
event. Like, I don't know.
Now I want to see it.
Now, granted, The Rock's got to be around to do this.
Yeah. But well, it's not like he's busy right now. There's the fucking writer's strike going on. They're not doing shit.
We're getting 8 weeks of Cena, and he's going to be at both He's going to be at Fastlane too.
Yeah. So,
like,
fuck. Let's go. Let's get this shit going.
And
Let's
then
get the Rock
people,
back on TV.
I like it's funny too because people are like, well, why can't Batista come back? Like, brother, Batista has no desire to come back.
Bro, he even said that match was like his retirement match. He is finished. He's done everything he wanted to do in the business. He had his last match against Triple H. Like,
yeah,
that's it. He's done.
And even what's the thing? Even if you like brought him in, what are you gonna have him do? Just be a guest appearance on Raw? Come out and
give me what I want.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I love Batista. I think one of my favorite entrances. But it's not like he's a promo guy like The Rock, where he can come in and like roast someone in a promo and leave. Like, hopefully he gets his Hall of Fame induction this year.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was supposed to, and then COVID happened.
Right.
And then I think they wanted him last year, and he couldn't commit. And I think that's why they went the route with Ray.
He couldn't do it.
That's why they went with Ray. Because you got to think, they always try to make someone big from that area. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Heyman went in this year. In Philly.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
An ECW person is going into the Hall of Fame.
What they should do is I know they should put New Jack in. If they're doing Philly, they should definitely put New Jack in the Hall of Fame. Like, he should be in there so his family can get something. I mean, it's part of ECW. They own ECW. Like,
but do you think WWE will allow that?
They should. I think they should. They should put New Jack in the fucking Hall of Fame, man. He fucking deserves that shit. He's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
But hey, man, if they're doing Philly, that would get a big pop if they had New Jack there and he had his family there to like take the induction.
Because if not him, who else could you do? Like, could you do Sabu, or is he controversial? I don't know. If Sabu's
fucking Sylvester Stallone and shit, fucking Rocky. Fuck.
But no, like, from Philly. Like ECW wise, who could you?
Is there anybody from Philly? Is anybody Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
No,
I can't think of anybody from Philly that, off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody that's from Philly.
And I'm trying to think of what big ECW names are not already in the Hall of Fame, besides Paul Heyman, like the Dudleys.
But that's the thing too. Like,
maybe
that's
Tommy
why I
Dreamer.
said
You could put Tommy Dreamer.
That's why I said New Jack. Maybe, yeah. Well, Tommy Dreamer did some time in WWE too, so
and
they could
he
do
did
that.
behind this. I don't know if you know, he did behind the scenes with them too, like producing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the names that I'm thinking of, they wouldn't, like Rhino. They're not gonna put Rhino in the Hall of Fame. I know he did a bunch of stuff with Keith Slater and all that, but I wouldn't
mind if he was in it, but I'd rather I'd rather see Tommy Dreamer.
I don't think they would do him. They wouldn't do Sandman. I would think maybe Sabu, possibly Tommy Dreamer.
To me, it's got to be either Dreamer or Heyman.
And there's always Raven, but I don't know about that.
Raven's a big part of ECW history.
Yeah, because he was in WWE for like a week or two, so it seemed like. I mean, they didn't really have him do much over there. So
he had
one of my favorite fucking WCW characters, man.
Raven had one of my favorite WWE hardcore matches. That triple threat with him, Big Show, and Kane at Mania. Throwing each other through glass and the doors and the golf cart and all that. I don't know. For me, I love that match.
So crazy. Oh, I was going to ask you this. Do you think that Kevin Owens bladed on Saturday? I think he bladed.
I think he did too.
Because I was trying to see where, because I saw on Twitter that he was busted open. So I was like, oh shit, okay, let me pay attention to see where it happens or whatever. And I couldn't see anywhere where he got like thrown into a turnstile or hit at something. He was just all of a sudden covered in blood.
Because they don't do headshots. That's the thing.
Yeah. So I think he literally obviously it was a tribute to Terry Funk. So I think he did that. I think he did that on purpose. And they probably went back there.
He probably got
a slap on the wrist because he probably went back there and they were like, hey, what the fuck happened? Why were you like me? He's like, oh, I don't know. But he knows.
You don't think he could have got it blessed off?
He could have what?
Got it like signed off as like a one-time thing?
Nah, I don't think they're doing that anymore. Definitely not like that.
I was going to say, when did they stop blading?
It's been a few years. I don't know when that rule came out that they just were like, we don't do that shit anymore.
Like, to be honest, like when Cena, like the Ruthless Aggression era, when Cena was killing it, I remember he had one match. I think it was against Umaga where he was bleeding everywhere. Were they
It had to
bleeding
be that
then?
whole PG when they started that whole PG shit. This one that started when it was
I'm
PG.
Yeah, because I don't. Probably like 2010.
Can you imagine the PC era? It's been that long. You kind of feel like that shit like kind of just started or whatever, and it's been like over 10 years.
Because I'm trying to think. Remember, what was it? Was it Eddie Guerrero or JBL that both got busted open bad with like a blade job? Was it Eddie Guerrero that was bleeding really bad? Do you remember that match?
I honestly don't.
Fuck, I don't remember if it was Eddie Guerrero or JBL. That one of them, they were facing each other.
So the PG era, also known as the Universe era, began on July 22nd, 2008. 2008, bro. 2008, bro.
That makes sense, actually, thinking about it. Because we haven't had a first blood match in forever.
It's fucking 15 years, man. That's so crazy. But yeah, it's been that's when they stopped the blood thing. So, you know.
Because I'm trying to think of like the last person besides KO in WWE that got busted open bad. That was.
I mean, we've seen a couple recently, like by accident, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit wasn't. That was a blade job, bro. That was not by accident. He popped up in that fucking hockey outfit, and he was crimson masked up. Like that was a blade job. That was a super blade job, bro. So I think he bladed for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely a really good match.
And that was, again, I'm cool with it. It was a homage to fucking Terry Funk. I thought it was cool. So I see why he did it, and I'm pretty sure he was like, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
You know, speaking of like tributes, you know what kind of shocked me? I'm not mad about it, but when Cena returned last Friday to SmackDown, I thought he was gonna say something about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I just kind of because like they had two really good feuds, like when Wyatt first came in, and then the Firefly Funhouse one.
Yeah, I think he was basically trying to keep it light, you know, kind of like move past that shit. I'm sure
I never asked you. Did you like the Firefly Funhouse match?
I just rewatched it. Actually, I was just gonna say, speaking of Cena, I was like, oh, you know what? I need to rewatch that shit. He's fucking doing the hoist. And his arms are all fucking rubber. He can't punch Bray Wyatt.
When Bray's like, you can look, but you can't touch.
Dude, that shit, it was, you know, there is nothing like that. I mean, you can't compare that to anything. You know, it's just, you don't even know how to explain that if you're trying to explain it to somebody. Like, what was this match? And you're like, dude, I don't fucking even know. He ended up in the fun house, then he went through the door, and now he's like being controlled by magic. I don't know what the fuck is happening. But it was entertaining as shit.
It was like, thinking about it, I think it was like low key, like we're gonna kind of like shit on all the bad things you've done.
Yeah, it was almost like Cena took shrooms, and he was just kind of having like a peyote.
You know, he's doing the NWO guitar.
Yeah. He was in the fucking NWO. They did the Saturday Night Main Event thing. They played the Saturday Night Main Event theme. Then he did the promo there. He did the weightlifting thing. They did the NWO thing. He did the Ruthless Aggression. Yeah, he came out in his Ruthless Aggression gear.
They tribute the gear he was wearing the first time he fought Bray, like just the shirt he was wearing at the time.
Yeah, he did the Thugonomics thing. Also, he did all his gimmicks. He brought all his gimmicks back.
Yep, and then the Fiend pinned him. That was dope. And I'll never forget Titus O'Neil. Remember Titus O'Neil after was like...
Yeah, he was just like...
That was one of the hardest, because I remember Rob and we did a show after each Mania, both of those, because literally we were on lockdown, so no one had nothing to do.
Wow.
And I forget his answer, so I'd have to ask him, but... Between that and the Boneyard match with Taker and which one was better?
I'd go with the Firefly Funhouse match though, for sure. That was definitely more entertaining. Like the Boneyard match was cool, and actually I should probably rewatch that because I watched that the one time, and that's it.
I'm also an Undertaker mark, so
Because I watched that match as it played, and I like never watched it again. So I should probably rewatch it. But I keep seeing the meme everywhere of like the
AJ and the Undertaker popping
AJ
up.
and the Undertaker behind them. Yeah, I see that meme all over the place. But I haven't seen that match since it aired. I should probably rewatch that.
AJ Styles main evented WrestleMania though with it, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, and he gave Undertaker his last match. AJ Styles. It's good trivia.
I know, man. And AJ Styles, for the little time he's had there, he's the Grand Slam champion. He main evented. Yes, it was during COVID and it was not in front of a crowd, but he still technically main evented WrestleMania with the fucking Undertaker.
Yep.
Gave the Undertaker his last match. Like, in a fucked up way. I think someone said he's done more matches now with them than he did with Impact.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm assuming he's a first ballot. I'm assuming he'll go in the Hall of Fame when he retires, like instantly.
Oh yeah. I mean, that dude was in Impact for so long. That's like one of those guys that like, it was always like, oh, imagine if he was in WWE. Like, can you just imagine? Because I never thought he was gonna leave there. I never thought like when he showed up at Impact, I had no clue. Now when I go back and I listen to like when I watch that Royal Rumble, like you hear some people chanting AJ, you hear a little bit of AJ here and there in the crowd, and there's like a couple signs too if you like really look around. But I was clueless, like, and I'm all about wrestling rumors and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I had no fucking idea that AJ was gonna be at the Royal Rumble. It was literally a shock.
And shockingly, Vince didn't really know the hype behind AJ.
Yeah, he didn't even know who he was. That's hilarious.
So honestly, because AJ is older now, there's only really one more thing I really want out of him. And they're kind of doing it now. He fought Solo last week and lost, but I don't know if there was interference. But he's fighting Jimmy this week. I really want to see an AJ. I want to see AJ because if we're not going to get Bobby, like I really want to see AJ and Roman during this.
Yeah.
Like in my perfect world, it would be AJ going up to Survivor Series or Saudi, whatever. Probably Saudi. They'd probably save that for Saudi. Saudi's kind of their bigger. But AJ and him and Saudi get Bobby the Rumble and then Cody at Mania. And I'd be so content. And then Roman go take another vacation.
It's not like he's not on one now. Like I barely shows up, bro.
I know that's what blows my mind. I think I've said this to one of my boys. Like, it's not like he's often doing movies like Cena was. Like my man,
he's just literally he's at home with the wife and kids, and
which is great. He's earned that. But like, I don't know, bro. Like, you only come on SmackDown. Like, you can't just show up once a week. Or once every other week.
Yeah, for real. Like we haven't. When's the last time I saw him? At the last pay-per-view, right?
No, so we had SummerSlam. I think it was the week after SummerSlam because that's when Jay quit.
Oh yeah.
And he's not coming this week, guy. Because just like you've seen the memes, like what are we gonna get this week? Like Tony Khan has a major announcement, or Roman Reigns return to SmackDown.
Right.
But I think that's gonna do it for us. I think we're out of gas.
I think so. I think we've exhausted our wrestling talk for the week.
But overall,
man, I'm 2 weeks behind on fucking Ring of Honor, man. I'm fucking like 2 weeks behind. I missed 2 episodes. It's just so much wrestling, man. And I've been wanting to watch some GCW because Maki Ito's been there. Masha Slamovich has been over there a lot. And like, I want to watch some of that shit because I keep seeing clips online and it looks fucking awesome. And now fucking Will Ospreay is going to be on the next Impact pay-per-view. So I got to watch that now.
Yeah, Impact 1000. I want to watch that too, actually.
Yeah, I got to watch that shit now.
One last thing I want to say, actually, and then I'll do our plug out of here. In November, the week before, since Full Gear's on a Saturday, Collision and SmackDown are going head-to-head.
Oh, that's right. I saw that today.
I don't know if the time slots are going to change. I kind of hope it's like, because remember they did that shit one time where Rampage. So if SmackDown was on FS1.
SmackDown went half an hour into Rampage. It was something like that.
Yeah, and it was on FS1. But then I remember Tony did like a live thing on YouTube before Rampage. But remember, the Phil Brooks won the Friday Night Wars when there was no war.
It's Tony
He
be
called it the
bugging, bro.
Friday Night Wars when neither one were on their prime network.
He's gotta relax
television.
with that shit. SmackDown is gonna destroy Collision. So Collision is what, airing on Friday instead of Saturday?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
The thing is, we don't know the time slot. I hope it's no shit. They're both 8 to 10. I hope it's no just like back in the day, 8 to 10, both of them.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have to do some heavy promotion for that shit to pop any kind of rating because
that one, yeah, because that's the thing. That's the go home, literally the go home for Full Gear, and then that's the second to last SmackDown before Survivor Series. So they both are kind of close to pay-per-views too. So,
bro, if CM Punk shows up at Survivor Series,
imagine if WWE was petty as fuck and brought CM Punk in for that SmackDown when they go head to head.
I'm telling you, bro. If CM Punk,
imagine if that SmackDown.
Oh my God, bro!
I think I'd rather see that than in Chicago, just because of pettiness. Just out of pettiness.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if it's a double-edged sword, because if they do that and they have CM Punk show up Friday on that SmackDown, if you don't open the show with CM Punk, you're fucked. Because that crowd is going to be chanting CM Punk the whole fucking show until he comes out.
Yeah.
So if you don't start with him, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a big problem.
I'm just thinking, picture, it's 8. They're both, say they just go 8 to 10. And you hear Cult of Personality on SmackDown. Tony's going to get word of that in 2 minutes and be livid. But the thing is, AEW is going to be in a predicament because their pay-per-view is the next day.
Yeah.
It's you got to be safe at the same time. You notice, most shows, most companies, well, both companies, that week, go home, there's not a lot of action with the main guys. Because you don't want to risk that final injury.
Yeah,
you can't have MJF. You can't have MJF. Say it's MJF and Adam Cole at Full Gear again. You really probably shouldn't have them wrestle on Friday.
Right.
So I don't know. That's going to be cool. Maybe we can do that'd be a good one to do a live for. We each have
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down for a watch along at any time, man.
On a Friday night, be nice and easy right before the pay-per-view.
Should have one person could be watching SmackDown and the other one could be watching Collision.
Yeah, and just back-to-back reactions, Collision. That actually be dope.
I just want to do a better setup though, because the thing is, you can see my TV's there.
Yeah. And
I can't really. I mean, I guess I can move the laptop over there, but we'll figure something out. But I'm down for doing that. That's gonna be That's gonna be so interesting to see what they do. It's gonna be real interesting to see what this CM Punk rebuttal is gonna be, because supposedly he's gonna do some air out a lot of dirty laundry or whatever the fuck, whatever podcast he decides to do or whatever. It's gonna be interesting to hear his side of the story about everything that happened. But we shall see, because I don't even know what he's gonna be allowed to say really, as far as lawsuits and all that. So,
did you see the meme? And it's CM Punk with a WWE mic, and it's I left sports entertainment January 2014, and on November 25th, 2023, I'm back.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. That's another thing that I've been it's so funny. I've been seeing all these different clips of different things that he said over the past year or two. And one of the clips, I know you saw it, was at a Jungle Boy match. He was doing commentary, and he was like, if you have a problem with Jungle Boy, then that means you have a problem. And it's well, hello. You came out of your, literally, I think actually Rob sent that to the group chat. And it's that's literally coming out of your mouth. You're saying it.
My man does it all to himself. Just like he told MJF, you want to go main event night 4 of a weekend spectacular?
Yeah,
brother, you are dying to be that main event one of those nights right now.
Yeah. That buy one, get one free pay-per-view event. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one extravaganza.
And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When he used to bury or take shots at WWE, they were good. They were good. I'm not hating.
And that's the difference. he was one of their biggest stars, so he should be allowed to do that. Like, if he wants to take a shot every once in a while or whatever, that's in his character, that's fun. But when like MJF does that fucking bidding war of whatever, and he name drops Vince and all these people, it's like, bro, you were never there. Like, that shit, like, it's annoying. Like, you're just doing it to do it, like, to get a reaction, and like, you're better than that. Like, you can say anything else and get reactions.
You had 5 seconds of TV time, and it was Samoa Joe pushing you.
Yeah, literally, that's all your WWE, all your experience on the television is Samoa Joe shoving
and that's when Samoa Joe was in NXT. That's when he was in WWE. Triple H was like, "Hey, this MJF guy, isn't that the guy you pushed into the thing during Takeover?" Yeah, he's not too bad.
Yeah, I remember seeing his. He tried out for Tough Enough, actually, MJF. I remember seeing his tryout video or whatever. Actually, low key, I'll tell you, when that shit first started, me and my boys were like, "Yo, we should do that shit. We should send a fucking tape of us fucking each other up," because we used to beat each other up and shit at my old job all the time, throwing each other through empty cardboard boxes and hitting each other with the fucking flat aluminum pans and all that stupid shit, all that dumb shit. But alas,
yes,
it seems that we have come to the end of this wonderful episode of Wrestling is Trash, episode 157, actually. So, ladies and gents, we thank you for joining us on another Trash Tuesday. We thank you for joining us in eating CM Punk's muffins, as I have been doing all week. And you already know, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash, Jay Briscoe for life, better than you, baby, CM Punk. I'm wearing all the things. I know you got some Briscoe, billboard.
You got Punk, you
got Briscoe, Punk, and the MJF, the fucking scarf from them, doing it all here. But you already know, go to Wrestling is Trash on Instagram. That is the account I am in charge of. Click the link in the bio so you can get access to all our content, the Rambling Rob page, the Apple Podcasts, the Stitcher, and most importantly, the YouTube page. You guys have been kicking ass on our YouTube videos, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much for that. Nick and I are working on adding some new stuff for you. This weekend took it upon myself to do the 60-second previews. It seems like you guys have liked that. So they're pretty popular. So thank you guys again for doing all that. And listen, I'll pass it off to Nick.
Yeah, no, you can, Nick Anaselli, co-host Wrestling is Trash. Follow me on X and Instagram. I hate saying X.
I refuse.
Most importantly, the YouTube page, Twitter, Wrestling Be Trash, YouTube, Wrestling Get Trash. Like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. Like I said, we appreciate you guys. Past 2 weeks, the videos have been doing great. Like I said, last week, 2 weeks ago, we've had like over 200 views, which, that might not be a lot to a lot of people, but to us, it means a lot.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, so it means a lot to us. So please just comment, even if it's hi. Even if you're a bot, comment saying hi. Leave us a comment.
I'll probably delete your comment, but at least say hi.
Or at least leave it.
Something.
Leave it. But we'll be back
instead of the fucking comments that I get promote on whatever website. Damn Instagram bots. Every time I go on there, I see a comment and I'm like, "Ooh, a comment!" And I go on, it's like, "Hey, promote this on insert bullshit web page here."
Yep. For next week, I may not be here. My traveling is over, and I should already be in America. Hopefully, by the end of the week, I'll be in America. But so I may or may not be here next week. Lou may not. We might just take a week off unless something wild happens.
We might.
Dead season.
I'll be honest, we did miss a few weeks for a couple of months, and I kind of want to avoid doing that. So you guys just might get a solo Lukoa episode.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep. Depending on what's going on with me, I got to get home and spend time with the fam.
Absolutely.
Know. Might be some backlash if I try to instantly get on a podcast.
You can't come home and then be like, "All right, babe.
Yep, I'm on a podcast.
I gotta go record Wrestling is Trash."
Yeah, she'll be like, go fuck yourself. But anyway,
exactly.
All right, that's all I got. Thank you guys as always.
Yes, sir. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Now go forth and enjoy the wrestles. Till next time. Bam.